From Laurel Highlands High School, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS and the WMBS YouTube page this afternoon. The 1-5 Laurel Highlands Mustangs take on the 2-5 Albert Gallatin Colonials. Brian Morozak along with Carl Childs this afternoon. Our pregame show, as always, being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They'll get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. Albert Gallatin 2-4 in Section 2 4A play. The Colonials, coached by Nick Groover. Laurel Highlands Mustangs 1-5 overall, 0-4 in conference play. Mike Smith in his first year as the head coach of the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Really a must-win game for both schools as far as Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands on the outside looking in at a possible WPIAL playoff spot. The Mustangs at 0-4, 1-5 overall. Albert Gallatin 2-4. Their only two wins came over Uniontown in a series sweep 2 weeks ago. The top four playoff teams right now in the conference: Bell Vernon, who sits at 8-0 overall, 6-0 in the conference. West Mifflin 9-3 overall, 4-0 in conference play. Elizabeth Forward 6-2 overall, 3-1 in the conference, and Ringgold 4-6 overall and 3-3 in conference play. Last year, Albert Gallatin was able to sweep the season series over Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs this year, they were swept in the first two conference series. The Mustangs losing last week against the Bell Vernon Leopards in back-to-back games after losing the previous week in a series of games against Elizabeth Forward. We mentioned Albert Gallatin with that sweep against Uniontown 2 weeks ago, but the Colonials swept last week against Ringgold. Pitching matchup this afternoon: Nick Flesher on the mound for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Matt Malinsky will get the start for the Albert Gallatin Colonials. We're also going to have a special ceremony before the start of this afternoon's game honoring longtime Laurel Highlands coach Scott DeBerry, who passed away 4 years ago. The DeBerry family is here, and they'll throw out the first pitch right after the national anthem as the team's going over the ground rules right now at home plate. For Laurel Highlands, after this week, they'll have a series next week against West Mifflin. Then the rivalry series with Uniontown 2 weeks from now. And hard to believe the final high school baseball regular season series of the year for the Mustangs will be 3 weeks from today, as they'll start that two-game series against the Ringgold Rams, as this high school baseball season does go very quickly here in southwestern Pennsylvania. The Mustangs in the home whites, blue numbers, a little bit of red trim here this afternoon. The Albert Gallatin Colonials in the away blacks with gray pants and gray trim. The Mustang dugout here on the near side. The Albert Gallatin dugout off on the far side. Game time temperature around 72 degrees under sunny skies. We've seen some pretty heavy wind gusts throughout the course of the afternoon. The showers and thunderstorms expected to hold off until later on today. And now I'll turn it over to our public address announcer, Jason Taylor. He'll have some pregame introductions, the national anthem, then a special ceremony with the DeBerry family.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laurel Highlands Senior High School for today's boys baseball matchup between the visiting Albert Gallatin Colonials and your Laurel Highlands Mustangs. At this time, we would ask that everybody please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would direct your attention to the field. Today, Laurel Highlands baseball team would like to welcome the family of the late Scott DeBerry. In attendance is Scott's wife, Missy DeBerry, his children, Shaylee Davidson and Drew DeBerry, Scott's dad, Jerry DeBerry, his brother-in-law, Dave Martin, and his grandchildren, Sydney and Charlotte. As many of you know, Scott was a beloved teacher and coach here at Laurel Highlands. He led the Mustangs as head coach for 8 years until his unfortunate passing in 2021. Today, Scott's family is here to honor his legacy by throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Catching the pitches are 3 of Coach DeBerry's former players, Josh Burns, Andino Vecchiola, and Caleb Scott. Let's hear it for the DeBerry family.
Certainly great for Laurel Highlands to bring back the DeBerry family. Again, longtime Laurel Highlands head coach Scott DeBerry passed away right after the 2021 season and really brought this Laurel Highlands baseball program to a brand new level. That tradition carried on then by Brad Yeoman and now by Mike Smith, who's in his first year as the head coach of the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Albert Gallatin a bat first here in the top half of the first inning. Let's set the Colonials batting order. Leading off the first baseman, number 7, Ben Lilly. Batting second and pitching, number 27, Matt Malinsky. Batting third out in right field, number 13, Luke Wilson. In the cleanup spot and catching, number 23, Jason Myers. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 24, Kenyon Sutton. Batting sixth in center field, number 1, Evan Weekland. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 11, Michael Dunham. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 5, Clay Smith. And batting ninth in left field, number 15, Jake Bellish. Defensively, for Laurel Highlands, they'll have Nick Crouch out in left, Connor D'Amico in center, and Aiden Milsom in right. Around the horn, Brody Kutchman playing third, Noah Lyon playing short, Andrew Gallick playing second, Parker Hoff playing first, and catching for the Mustangs today is Braylon Shoke. Vecchiola unavailable for the game today. Nick Flesher pitching for Laurel Highlands. Flesher an 0-1 record, 3.57 ERA. This is his 5th appearance of the season. Has worked 15 2/3 innings, given up 14 hits, 12 runs, 8 of the 12 earned, struck out 13 and walked 8 so far this season. Flesher going up against Matt Malinsky here this afternoon. Again, a beautiful sunny afternoon, even though it's a little bit windy outside, but the rain expected to hold off until after this game wraps up. We do have Carl Childs behind the camera, and Carl's going to be chiming in from time to time throughout the course of the afternoon as well. Carl, nice to have you alongside.
Nice to be here with you, Brian.
And feel free to chime in anytime you see something that we don't hear. And, of course, Jason Taylor to my left, the Laurel Highlands public address announcer. Really a must-win game, Carl, for both of these teams. Albert Gallatin, just those 2 wins over Uniontown. Laurel Highlands looking for the first conference win of the season, and a must-get tonight for both of these programs.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this game will actually probably be more competitive than the records suggest, especially with considering the fact these kids probably play a lot of summer ball with each other.
Yeah, for sure. See both of these schools playing Legion ball against one another. So Ben Lilly stepping in. Nick Flesher on the mound. Flesher's first pitch in there for a strike to Lilly. And Lilly's gotten off to a nice start this season. .368 average, has 3 RBIs. Lilly, the Albert Gallatin first baseman here today. Again, just underway, top of the first inning. Now the 0-1 pitch, Flesher to Lilly. And that ball sent high in the air into left field. And it will drop in front of a charging Nick Crouch. So leadoff single for Ben Lilly. And Albert Gallatin in business here in the top half of the first inning. Now bring up Matt Malinsky. Malinsky, the Albert Gallatin pitcher, came into the game with a .269 average and 1 run driven in so far this season. We'll see if Flesher is concerned much with the runner Lilly over here at first. First pitch in here to Matt Malinsky, misses for ball one. Mustangs will hold their senior day coming up on Thursday against Mount Pleasant. We'll have that game on the WMBS YouTube page. Be a 4 o'clock start. That'll be our next high school baseball broadcast as Flesher finds the strike zone there to Malinsky to even up the count at 1-1. Flesher taking his time. Again, glances over at first. Showing bunt and laying it down there is Malinsky. Good bunt. Flesher the throw over to first. Covering the bag there for the Mustangs is Andrew Gallick. So the sacrifice successful as Lilly advances down to second.
Number 13, Luke Wilson.
And we have one away here in the top half of the first inning. Now Luke Wilson coming to the plate, the Albert Gallatin right fielder with a .273 average and 6 RBIs so far this season. Flesher's first delivery here, and it's a little chopper going to first, making the play. 3 unassisted is Parker Hoff. For the second out of the inning, advancing down to third is Ben Lilly.
Now batting for Albert Gallatin, number 23, Jason Myers.
Now you have Jason Myers coming to the plate. With 2 outs, Myers batting .200, but has driven in 4 runs so far this season. Albert Gallatin, catcher, grounds one here to short, deep in the hole line. Throw over to first in time to retire Myers 6-3 for the third out of the innings. Albert Gallatin strands 1. Will go to the bottom of the first inning. It's Albert Gallatin nothing, and Laurel Highlands coming to bat here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day. Whether you're buying or selling a house, Jeff Dennis at RE/MAX Select Realty is your local realtor of choice. Jeff and his team are proud members of our community and have the skills, knowledge, and ability to meet your needs. Call them today at 724-933-6300, extension 903, or visit them in person at 542 Morgantown Street, Uniontown. Remember to follow Jeff Dennis, Team RE/MAX Select Realty on Facebook today. For 20 years, Beagley Tree of Somerset has been providing premier land management services across the region, offering a wide array of services, including vegetation control, right-of-way restoration, land clearing, building demolition, erosion and sediment control, access road installation, and more. Beagley can do it all. For more information, visit BeagleyTree.com. That's BeagleyTree.com, or call them today, 814-444-TREE. Beagley Tree Construction Support Services done right. Moving now to the bottom of the first inning, Laurel Highlands coming to bat. Let's take a look at their batting lineup. Leading off and playing first base, number 18, Parker Hoff. Batting second in left field, number 4, Nick Crouch. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 7, Noah Lyon. Batting fourth and playing third base in the cleanup spot, Brody Kutchman. Batting fifth and pitching, number 6, Nick Flesher. Batting sixth, the freshman catcher, Braylon Shoke today. Batting seventh in right field, number 3, Aiden Milsom. Batting eighth in center field, number 2, Connor D'Amico. And rounding out the lineup for the Mustangs, batting ninth and playing second base, number 30, Andrew Gallick. Defensively for Albert Gallatin, Jake Bellish out in left, Evan Weekland in center, and Luke Wilson in right. Kenyon Sutton playing third, Michael Dunham playing short, Clay Smith playing second. And the first baseman's Ben Lilly, Jason Myers catching, and Matt Malinsky pitching. For Malinsky, his 6th appearance of the season, enters the game with a 1-2 record, 1.45 ERA. Has worked 9 2/3 innings, and mostly has worked in relief so far this season, giving up 10 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of them earned, struck out 9 and walked 9 so far this season. So Malinsky will face Parker Hoff to start this bottom of the first inning. Hoff a .222 average. Still looking for his first RBI of the season for the Mustangs. So Hoff digging in. Malinsky set. From the stretch position, first pitch, a fastball in there for a strike. Takes the count to 0-1 to Parker Hoff. Against Hoff, Crouch, and Lyon due up here in the top half of the first inning for the Mustangs. Now the 0-1. Another fastball just missed, even up the count at 1-1. Mustangs struggled at the plate in their last series against a very talented Bell Vernon team last week. Actually played a doubleheader as this ball popped up in foul territory. Colonials no play on it. Take the count to 1-2.
You got to think watching them play AG versus Bell Vernon, you'll get a better idea of how they're going to be hitting against other schools.
I agree, Carl. I think Bell Vernon and certainly Elizabeth Forward, some of the cream of the crop as far as the conference is concerned, as the 1-2 pitch misses here to even up the count at 2-2. Now Malinsky taking his time. 2-2 pitch on the way and a line drive through on the right side. Into right field. Luke Wilson a little juggle, then a regain as his relay comes in. But a leadoff single for Parker Hoff, and Laurel Highlands in business here in the bottom of the first inning.
Number 4, Nick.
And to kind of start the Mustangs needed now with Nick Crouch coming to the plate. And Carl, both of these teams with batting averages as team batting averages below 200 at this juncture of the season. So really trying to get the bats going right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Crouch, another one of those Mustangs that's certainly more talented than his 188 average indicates at this point of the season. Runner going and sliding into second safely with no throw there is Parker Hoff. And Jason Myers is the catcher for Albert Gallatin, not even attempting the throw. First pitch missed for ball 1. Now Malinsky glanced back at second. 1-0 pitch on the way, finds the strike zone, even up the count at 1-1. Now to Crouch.
I definitely think both of these teams will probably have a higher batting average in today's game compared to what they're doing for the season.
Oh, I agree, Carl. Yeah, it's just been a little bit of a struggle playing the likes of the teams they have here early on in the year. Count now 2-1. Malinsky to Crouch as the wind starts to pick up. 2-1 on the way. That one got past the catcher, Jason Myers, allowing Hoff to get down to third. And still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I think another factor that plays into the batting averages might even be the cold and the wet weather.
I agree, too.
Yeah.
Plus, these kids haven't been able to get too many reps outside either, because on the days when the weather is nice outside, as a called strike there to Crouch. Takes the count full now to 3-2. On the days it's nice, they're playing games. There haven't been too many practice days here in the spring of 2025. Now the payoff pitch from Malinsky to Crouch is outside for ball 4. So the Mustangs now runners on the corners with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Hoff, the initial single, got down to second with no throw. Then a pass ball allowed him to get down to third. And now Crouch walking with Noah Lyon, who will be your starting pitcher for the Mustangs tomorrow in the road game of this series against Albert Gallatin, coming to the plate. And the junior batting .286. Looking for his first RBI of the season. Crouch on his way to second. They made a throw over to first, but aren't going to contest him over there at second base. So now 2 in scoring position for Laurel Highlands with nobody out. And Lyon digging in here for Laurel Highlands. There's a fastball, misses low. Count now 1-0. Brody Kutchman due up next for the Mustangs. That ball from Lyon popped up in foul territory. No play on it there for Albert Gallatin defensively. Count now 1-1. And it's one hit for Albert Gallatin in the top half of the first. That was a single from Ben Lilly from the leadoff spot. Malinsky well off the mark there on that pitch. Takes the count now to 2-1 to Noah Lyon. Again, Albert Gallatin trying to juggle things up. Malinsky normally out of the Albert Gallatin bullpen, getting the start to lead off this series. Misses again there to line. That one pitch did not miss, though, by much. Takes the count now to 3-1. Malinsky again from the stretch. 3-1 pitch to Noah Lyon. Check swing. They're going to check him. Base umpire says he did not go, so a walk there will load up the bases. So the first three Mustangs reaching base safely here in the bottom of the first inning. Hoff on a single. Crouch and Lyon walking, and now Kutchman comes to the plate with the bases loaded. The sophomore third baseman batting .333 with 3 RBI. Swings the first pitch, foul tipped. And they count at 0-1. A tough spot here for Malinsky. Kutchman can blow this game wide open here early on for Laurel Highlands. Malinsky now the 0-1 to Kutchman with the infield coming in. Fastball, Kutchman, a rip. It was caught by the third baseman. They get the force out at home. Are they going to credit the force out? Yes, the ball was actually juggled there by Jason Myers, but they're going to say Myers had it after the throw came down there from Kenyon Sutton. So it goes as a fielder's choice 5-2. Don't see that much. Retires the lead runner, Hoff. And the game remains scoreless with Nick Flesher now coming to the plate with 1 out now in the inning. That was a well-hit ball there from Kutchman as well. The first pitch to Flesher, ripped again going to the third baseman. Look at another force out at home, throw back to first. They turn the double play. So it goes 5-2-3. The double play to end the inning. So Laurel Highlands with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Get Kutchman to hit into the fielder's choice, and then Flesher into the 5-2-3 double play to end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the first inning scoreless. Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin here on the CR Barada Group High School Sports Day. Moving now to the top of the second inning, Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin scoreless. Do you have a job around the house? You aren't fully sure how to tackle? Then it's time to call Fulham's Full Service, your best in Fayette gold medal winner for professional maintenance and handyman service. Fully licensed and insured, owner Cody Fulham does it all. From home renovations and repairs to landscaping and auto detailing, he's ready to help you. Call Fulham's today at 724-466-4194 and follow them on Facebook to learn more about their projects and the work they can do for you. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance that stays put until you change your car, driver, your address, plus seriously good coverage. Your local Erie Insurance agent in Uniontown and Rostraver Township is the Sprouse Insurance Group. You can give them a call at 724-437-9812 or go to SprouseInsurance.com. Erie Rate Lock is not guaranteed continued insurance coverage, not available in all states. Our game today also on the South Union Township Sports Network, brought to you there by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown. Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes. SWGI Specialist, now U.S. Digestive Health. The UPMC Rehabilitation Services and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank and South Union Township Supervisors Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Bob Schiffbauer. So for Albert Gallatin here in the top half of the second, it'll be Kenyon Sutton, Evan Weekland, and Michael Dunham. As this game scoreless, Sutton, the lefty, batting .176 with 2 RBIs so far this season. Flesher's first pitch to Sutton missed for ball 1. Carl, when was the last time you saw a 5-2-3 double play to end an inning?
That's been quite some time. It was some nice glove work by the third baseman for AG because they could have easily given up some runs on those 2 hits.
Yeah, you look at Kutchman's hit and then Flesher's hit, both well-hit balls. Just kind of hit in the wrong spot. As coming up empty there was Sutton to even up the count at 1-1. As both Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands got their leadoff runner on in the first inning. And the Mustangs with the bases loaded and nobody out coming up empty as Sutton fouls off that pitch from Flesher. Taking the count now to 1-2. Flesher entered the game 13 strikeouts to 8 walks so far this season. Now Flesher looking for his first strikeout of the afternoon here. Facing Sutton. 1-2 pitch on the way. Kind of a sidewinder, missed a low. Even up the count at 2-2. And certainly a great pregame ceremony with the DeBerry family throwing out the first pitch. And you go back and look at Coach DeBerry's tenure here at Laurel Highlands. Brought this program from just making the WPIAL playoffs to winning WPIAL playoff games. Mustangs playing in a WPIAL championship game, state playoff win. Just bringing the program to a new level. That was continued on by Brad Yeoman and Mike Smith trying to continue that success as Sutton goes down striking out for the first out of the inning. And Flesher's first strikeout of the game. And now Evan Weekland coming to the plate, the Albert Gallatin center fielder, batting 174 with 3 RBIs so far this season. First pitch to Weekland misses for ball 1 from Flesher.
To add on to them the school honoring Coach DeBerry, I had the pleasure of playing under him my JV year.
Oh, nice.
Though I didn't play much school sports, he was a pretty good coach, good guy. It was nice to see the school honor him today.
He was always honest. He wasn't afraid to let you know what he thought about things.
Yeah, very.
I really had to respect that. Yeah.
Very respectable.
Count 1-1 now. Flesher to Weekland. I think I remember seeing you on the lineup cards, Carl, back in the day.
Yeah, I'd hate to see that batting average.
That one misses inside there to Weekland. Takes the count to 2-1. Again, our next game on the WMBS YouTube page will be on Thursday. Laurel Highlands having their senior day game against Mount Pleasant. That'll be a 4 o'clock start. Senior day festivities expecting to start a little bit sooner than that. Jason, what are you talking about? 3:30, 3:45 probably for senior day? Somewhere in that range. We'll have those senior day festivities for you. Count now 2-2 after Weekland fouled off that last pitch. Now Flesher trying to finish him off here. 2-2 on the way. Another little sidewinder fouled off there by Weekland. Count remains 2-2. We're expecting another mixed bag of precipitation here midweek, possibly some snow showers. Even Tuesday and a Wednesday. I think the weather should be good again for Thursday. Hopefully the Mustangs can get game 2 of the series, though, in against Albert Gallatin either Tuesday or Wednesday. And there's another strikeouts from Evan Weekland, or from Nick Flesher, sending down Evan Weekland. So back-to-back strikeouts for Flesher here at the top of the second inning. And now 2 outs in this scoreless game with Michael Dunham coming to the plate. Dunham bagging 333 as an RBI so far this season. Albert Gallatin shortstop. And Dunham with that jersey untucked. Don't see that much. Take the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. I think there was a rule at some point that you had to have the jerseys tucked in the high school game. They're letting Dunham slide here. 1-0 pitch on the way. Dunham going and chasing. Evens up the count at 1-1. Clay Smith due up behind Dunham if they get to him here in this half inning. Expected a competitive game. It's been competitive at least early on. Still scoreless. Now the 1-1 on the way. Just missed. Count moves to 2-1. Another nice crowd on hand here at Laurel Highlands High School for the Mustangs and the Colonials. Lined up on the hill to take this one in. Sun behind the clouds for now. 2-1 pitch on the way, and Dunham lines it over our press box foul. Evens up the count now at 2-2. I think both of these schools really need a sweep of this series if they want to have any realistic chances of making the WPIAL playoffs here in 2025. Flesher's 2-2 now to Dunham. Missed high and outside. Takes us 4-3-2. I think for the Mustangs, at least, they probably got their two toughest conference series out of the way early on. West Mifflin will be another challenge next week as well. 3-2 pitch here. Chop going back to Flesher. The turn, the throw, and the get over to Parker Hoff to retire Dunham 1-3 for the final out of the innings. Albert Gallatin retired 1-2-3 here in the top half of the second. We'll move to the bottom of the second here in the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people, not insurance companies. Their lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely while taking all necessary precautions and disinfecting the clinic regularly. For more information, you can give them a phone, or give them a call. Give them a call at 724-437-7500. That's 724-437-7500 for the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute. In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there is something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been servicing the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Visit the Mike Kelly Automotive Group today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference, because when you buy from the Mike Kelly Automotive Group, you buy from a family. So moving to the bottom of the second inning, it's Braylon Shoke, Aiden Milsom, and Connor D'Amico due up for the Mustangs, with Shoke getting the start with Vecchiola out of the lineup, and he'll take ball one here from Matt Malinsky. Again, the Mustangs loaded up the bases, came up empty in the bottom of the first inning. There's a shot going foul down the left field line from Shoke. Well-hit ball. The Mustangs very high on Shoke. Again, just a freshman. Shoke in limited at-bats came into the game with a 111 average. Again, the sample size pretty low. 1-1 pitch, misses up top. Takes the count out at 2-1. If you're just joining us in the bottom half of the first inning, Parker Hoff singled to lead off the inning. Then Nick Crouch and Noah Lyon both walked to load up the bases. Brody Kutchman hit into a fielder's choice that went 5-2. And then Nick Flesher on another well-hit ball hit into a 5-2-3 double play to end the inning. Count out 3-1 here. Malinsky to Shoke. And a 3-1 pitch on the way, and Shoke popping this one up into right field. Getting under it and making the grab is Luke Wilson for the first down of the inning. So well-hit ball from Shoke, but he comes up empty. And now Aiden Milsom will come to the plate.
Aiden Milsom.
Milsom's been fantastic in the field for Laurel Highlands early on this season. Sophomore right fielder, though, batting just 118 with 2 RBIs, but certainly has made up for it with his defense so far this year. Malinsky's first pitch to Milsom. Missed up top for ball one. Malinsky from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low. Takes the count to 2-0. Malinsky doesn't like the signs there for Myers. Now time called by Milsom. And you don't have any kind of pitch clock here in the high school game. Sometimes you'll actually see longer games in high school baseball, even playing 7 innings, than you see in Major League 9-inning games. That one well off the mark, hopping in there from Malinsky. Taking the count to 3-0 now against Aiden Milsom. Now, what else you could really do, though, to speed up the high school games? That pitch in there for a strike. Takes to 3-1 to Milsom. Can't institute pitch clocks, I don't think, in the high school game. Don't have the manpower to do that. 3-1 pitch on the way. Milsom popping this one up in foul territory. No play on it there for the Colonials. Takes the count full to 3-2. I imagine Jason Taylor running around all the time. He had to reset a pitch clock each pitch.
That'd be interesting.
I think you'd want more money for that, right, Jason? He said he'd definitely want more money for that. 3-2 pitch on the way. Another one fouled off there from Milsom to stay alive.
Well, that would be the problem. Whoever gets the task is going to want paid for it, right?
Yeah, correct. Or you're going to have to bring in a second person and pay them. Now a 3-2 from Malinsky to Milsom. And Malinsky stepping off. I think that's been one of the pushbacks about getting a shot clock for Pennsylvania high school basketball as well. They don't want to bring in another person to run the shot clock. Well hit ball there from Milsom going deep to center field. It'll go over the head of Evan Weekland, the center fielder. Weekland now with a relay throw coming in. It will be a stand-up double from Milsom. And Laurel Highlands with another runner in scoring position here with one out in the bottom of the second inning with this game still scoreless. And I'll bring up Connor D'Amico. D'Amico, plenty of experience. Mustang senior came in with a .250 average. And a couple of RBIs. Trying to drive in the game's first run here. First pitch now to D'Amico on its first pitch, swinging, popping it up in a shallow center field. This time getting under it is Weekland to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Remaining at second is Aiden Milsom. It's now 2 away in a scoreless game with Andrew Gallick coming to the plate.
Number 30.
Have to thank our graphic sponsors today, including Matt George for Laurel Highlands School Board, Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock, and South Union Township Supervisor Jason Scott. Appreciate their support along with all of our sponsors that allow us to bring you high school baseball, whether on WMBS radio or on our digital platforms, as Andrew Gallick takes the first pitch for ball one from Matt Malinsky. We'll have the Mustangs game next Wednesday at West Mifflin for you on the radio. That'll be a Wednesday 7 o'clock start as Gallick with a line drive going right once again to the center fielder Evan Weekland, who makes the catch to end the inning. So once again, Laurel Highlands stranding a base runner in scoring position in Aiden Milsom, and we'll go to the top of the third. This game still scoreless. Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. Busy day, feeling unwell, don't feel like driving, but you need your prescriptions? No worries. Farmana Pharmacy delivers to your home or workplace for free. Stay comfy at home or focused at work. Farmana Pharmacy delivers Monday through Friday, so you don't have to worry about picking up your prescriptions. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Phone 724-626-9600. Visit farmanapharmacy.com. Farmana Pharmacy, prescription care and convenience delivered. Spring forward a home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans put you in charge of your dream home project with all of the tools you need. They offer construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. You can apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. And I actually spent the afternoon today at the grand opening ribbon cutting at First Federal's new location in Fairchance, Pennsylvania. If you're going through the Fairchance area or a resident of the area, certainly check it out. It's quite impressive. So now we'll move to the top of the third inning. Clay Smith leading things off for Albert Gallatin, taking strike one, facing Nick Flesher. The Colonials were retired 1-2-3 in the top of the second inning with Sutton and Weekland striking out and Dunham grounding out to end the inning. 0-1 pitch here. Another swing and a miss from Smith. Takes the count now to 0-2. Now Flesher looking for his third strikeout of the afternoon. 0-2 pitch here to Clay Smith. Misses outside. Takes the count to 1-2. Smith, the Albert Gallatin second baseman, came into the game with a .286 average. Still looking for his first RBI of the season. Flesher's 1-2 now. Low and in the dirt to even up the count at 2-2 now to Smith. Now time called. Called by Smith, the batter. And Flesher back on the hill. Now the 2-2 pitch here to Clay Smith. Just missed. Thought that was strike three from our vantage point. Again, we're situated down the first baseline. So don't have the best view of the balls and strikes. And now the 3-2 payoff pitch on the way, and that ball nubbed here on the right side. Flesher with a little scoop over to first in time to Parker Hoff to retire Smith 1-3 for the first out of the inning. Was not an easy play there for Flesher, kind of an awkward bounce there on the infield grass. But Flesher able to get it to Hoff in time. And one away here in the top half of the third now with Jake Bellish coming to the plate. Bellish, the Albert Gallatin left fielder, batting .273 with 1 run driven in so far this season. Now Flesher with the first pitch here to Bellish. Fastball and another nubber here on the right side. Hoff to field it. Try to scoop it over to Flesher. Could not hang on. And safe over at first is Bellish. And just like the last one from Smith, another awkward play.
A little bit of deja vu.
Yeah, for sure. This time the Colonials getting Bellish on board.
I was just thinking of mentioning on the play before that, as easy as those plays look when they just dribble down to first base, they're actually pretty difficult because you don't know who's going to play, who's going to cover the bag, and who's going to get the ball. So it makes it a little more difficult than it looks.
I agree, Carl. Back to the top of the order now in Ben Lilly, who singled to left field to start this game. Lilly came in with a .368 average. Had 1-0 here against Nick Flesher. Flesher fastball, line drive, look out there. That was screaming towards us. Again, going off the press box, foul to even up the count at 1-1. Had a couple of those screamers so far this afternoon. And the 1-1 on the way, and this ball well hit up the middle into center field. Connor D'Amico coming up with a quick relay in, but the second hit of the afternoon for Ben Lilly, who's now 2 for 2, and Albert Gallatin with 2 runners on and 1 out. Here in the top of the third inning with this game still scoreless. Now the pitcher, Matt Malinsky, coming to the plate. He sacrificed last time up. Malinsky at .269 average and an RBI so far this season. Opportunity to drive in another one, with Bellish at second and Lilly at first. Flesher's first pitch to Malinsky, breaking ball low. Good block there by the freshman catcher, Shoke. And count at 1-0. .1-0 pitch, fastball. Just missed inside. Another close one, at least from our vantage point. Takes the count now to 2-0. Flesher's 2-0 pitch. Another fastball in there for a strike. Takes the count to 2-1. Luke Wilson due up behind Matt Malinsky in the Albert Gallatin batting order. Flesher glanced back at second. 2-1 pitch now on the way. Missed low and outside. Takes the count now to 3-1. Albert Gallatin looking for the game's first run. Flesher has to be careful here with Matt Malinsky. Next pitch on the way. Malinsky, a well-hit ball to second. Scoop to second for 1. Throw over to first, not in time. That's going to allow a Colonial to score on the play. So on the initial flip, Gallick sent it over to the line, but the throw went wide of Hoff over at first. So we'll end up going as a fielder's choice. 4-6 RBI for Malinsky, his second of the season. Runs scored for Bellish. And Albert Gallatin taking a 1-0 lead over Laurel Highlands. I think we'll get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher, Malinsky.
On to run for Malinsky. Number 10, Billy Craig.
And the courtesy runner will be number 10, Billy Craig. So Craig on to run for Malinsky. And now at the plate, Luke Wilson, who grounded out 3 unassisted last time up. Pitch missed inside for ball 1. Laurel Highlands defensively, though, did get the second out of the inning. As you had Lilly retired at second base. So just a runner on first now and 2 outs. Courtesy runner on his way as this ball popped foul by Wilson. As Craig was trying to make his way down to second. You would think with those courtesy runners, certainly try to get some speed off your bench in those situations. Count now 0-1, Flesher to Wilson. Throw over to first and back safely is Craig.
As many base runners as we've had today, I think that might have been the first pickoff move, maybe for Laurel Highlands.
You haven't had too many.
No.
Another throw over to first. You might have put the eyes on it, though, Carl. Just say it once, and now they're going to get 9 straight throwovers to first.
You're welcome.
Counts 1-1. Flesher delivers. Runner Craig going, and that ball golfs foul on the left side. Takes the count to 1-2.
Gotta say, I'm surprised that the players aren't going to get these foul balls when they're staying on the field.
Yep. We're going to get one retrieved here, it looks like. And most of this field are probably easy to retrieve except for right down our line. Here down the first baseline, where you get some wooded areas brought into play between the football field and the baseball field here on the campus of Laurel Highlands High School. Making sure the field's clear here as Flesher gets ready to deliver the 1-2 to Luke Wilson. Runner going again, and that ball hit Wilson or hit his bat. If it hit the bat, it bounced into fair territory, but they called the play dead. They're going to make the throw over to first, but it should not have been called a dead ball if it went off the inside of his bat. Umpires now getting together. And the umpire's going to say it hit him now. I think they had themselves caught in a tough situation, though, Carl, because they called the play dead, and even if it didn't hit them, they had to call something.
Right. Yeah, it's a tough call by an umpire once that happens.
I mean, it obviously did hit his bat to some degree, but Wilson showing us that it hit him in the hand and has a little scar there to prove it. Or a little scab, maybe.
Sure sounded like it hit the bat.
And this ball popped up in foul territory now by Jason Myers is the plate. It could have hit his hand and the bat.
Which is what I would think.
Yeah.
With the sound that we heard.
And it probably comes down to what did it hit first. If it hit the bat first, then the ball's in play. If it hit his hand first, then it would be dead. That's tough for an umpire, I think, to judge as well. Flesher missing there to Jason Myers. Myers grounded out 6-3 to end the first inning. Count now even at 1-1 for Albert Gallatin. You have 2 on, 1 run already across, but 2 outs here in the top half of the third. Nick Flesher with a 1-1 to Jason Myers, and Myers sending this one over the press box and out of play. Makes the count now to 1-2. And Myers came into the game at 200 average and 4 RBIs. For a few more here. 1-2 pitch on the way, and Myers setting this one through on the left side. Rounding third and scoring on the play there is Craig, the courtesy runner. And Albert Gallatin now taking a 2-0 lead. So Myers is 5th RBI of the season. And the courtesy runner, Craig, scores the second run of the game for Albert Gallatin. I'll get another courtesy runner here for the catcher, Jason Myers.
That's tough. That's tough for Fletcher after a controversial call like that.
Yeah, correct. Also had an error earlier on this inning, too, on that little flip to first. Or the inning would have been over by now. So the Mustangs trying to hang in here early on. Sutton, Kenyon Sutton, the 7th Colonial to bat here in this top of the third inning. Struck out swinging first time up. Still 2 on for Albert Gallatin. 2 runs already across. Now 2 outs here in the inning. And Sutton taking the first pitch for ball 1. Sutton, the lefty batter, facing the righty pitcher, Flesher. Next pitch on the way, fouled back. Count now 1-1. Flesher taking his time here against Sutton. Now each stepping out. One on the way. Called strike 2 now. The Kenyon Sutton. Now the 1-2, Flesher to Sutton. Flesher trying to get out of the inning. That pitch misses to even up the count at 2-2.
Seems like the Laurel Highlands catcher's trying to frame some pitches for Fletcher today, and the umpire just doesn't seem to be having it.
And it's the freshman catcher, Braylon Shoke. Vecchiola unavailable for Laurel Highlands. That pitch missing to take us full now to 3-2. Flesher to Sutton. Need to throw strikes in the situation. 2 already across for Albert Gallatin. They sent 7 men to the plate here in the top of the third inning. Now Flesher's payoff pitch to Kenyon Sutton. Step off. No one even covering the bag. After a quick start, the first 2 innings, this game's slowing down here in the top of the third. It seems like Flesher and Sutton just playing some mind games right now. Now the 3-2 pitch. And Sutton, they're going to call that a foul tipped on the strike 3. They'll throw it down to first to get him in time as it hopped away there from Shoke. So it goes into the books as a strikeout. 2-3 on the throwdown to end the inning. But Albert Gallatin getting 2 and now leading Laurel Highlands 2-0. As we move to the bottom half of the third here on the C.R. Piranha Group High School Sports Day. Experience the C. Harper Auto Group difference, the best price every time, all the time. C. Harper will beat any competitor's price or pay you $1,000 cash. C. Harper offers free Carfax history reports, transparent repair orders on pre-owned vehicles, and the winner of the best new auto dealership in Westmoreland County. The C. Harper Auto Group, the best price every time, all the time. Whether you're buying or selling a home, Jeff Dennis of RE/MAX Select Realty is your local realtor of choice. Jeff and his team are proud members of the community, have the skills, knowledge, and ability to meet your needs. You can call them today, 724-933-6300, extension 903. That's Jeff Dennis at RE/MAX Select Realty. So Laurel Highlands trying to get some runs back as we move to the bottom half of the third inning. Albert Gallatin getting two in the top half of the third to lead 2-0, and it's Hoff, Crouch, and Lyon, hitters 1, 2, and 3. As Hoff takes the first pitch for ball one, Parker singled his first time up back in the bottom of the first inning. That was when Laurel Highlands had the bases loaded and nobody out, but came up empty. Now the 1-0 here, Malinsky to Hoff. That pitch missing high and inside to take the count to 2-0. Hoff came into the game at .222 average, but that'll go up after his single back in the first inning. Now Malinsky's 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high again, takes us to 3-0. The Mustangs 2 hits so far in this game. Hoff's single and Aiden Milsom's double, which he had back in the second inning, and a 4-pitch walk drawn here by Hoff to give Laurel Highlands a base runner in the bottom of the third inning as the Mustangs trail 2-0. And now Nick Crouch coming to the plate. Crouch, the Mustangs sophomore left fielder, came into the game with a 188 average and 2 RBIs. Crouch walked and stole a base first time up as they'll check the runner Hoff here, who's back safely. Hoff did steal a base. First time up, he's going here again. Throw down to second, and they call him safe. It was close, but the ball was dropped by the Albert Gallatin second baseman, Clay Smith, who was covering the bag. I think they would have had Hoff dead to rights if Smith could have hung on to that throw from the catcher, Jason Myers. Count now 1-0, and Nick Crouch setting this one high in the air into center field. The catch made there by Evan Weekland. Hoff will tag on the play with a head-first slide safely into third. So Crouch advancing the runner for the first out of this bottom of the third inning, and that'll bring up Noah Lyon. Lyon, the Mustang junior shortstop, walked first time up. Came into the game with a .286 average, an opportunity here to pick up his first RBI of the season with Hoff down at third and the Mustangs trailing by a score of 2-0. Malinsky's first pitch here to Lyon, hit high in the air to center field, and once again the catch made by Weekland, and tagging and scoring on the play is Hoff, so it does go down as a sac fly RBI for Noah Lyon. His first RBI of the season, runs scored for Parker Hoff. So Laurel Highlands is on the scoreboard for the first time in this game, now trailing by a score of 2-1. The Mustangs will certainly take that, Carl.
Yeah, AG center fielder seems like he's getting a lot of action out there today.
The Mustangs have had some well-hit balls in this game. I mentioned even going back to the first inning when they loaded up the bases and just had a couple of unfortunate balls hitting the wrong spot. Base is now empty. 2 outs here in the inning, and Brody Kutchman at the plate. Kutchman hit into a fielder's choice 5-2 first time up, and that pitch high and inside from Malinsky. And you count now 2-0 to Kutchman. Malinsky's 2-0 pitch. Kutchman coming up empty, had a big-time cut there. Just couldn't get a piece of it. Kutchman just a sophomore and has gotten off to a nice start this season at the plate, batting .333 ahead of the count here now, 3-1. Now Malinsky's 3-1 to Kutchman with the bases empty, and Kutchman fouls it off to take us 4-3-2. Albert Gallatin will have hitters 6, 7, and 8 due up in the top half of the fourth inning. So the count now full, 3-2 from Malinsky to Kutchman. Malinsky's pitch, fastball, just missed for ball 4. So Kutchman aboard with a walk. And Laurel Highlands another base runner now with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. And the Mustangs down by a score of 2-1. Now you'll have Nick Flesher coming to the plate. Again, Flesher hitting that 5-2-3 double play. Then the first inning with the bases loaded. Flesher still looking for his first hit of the season at the plate. Now 0 for 9. Does have an RBI and a run scored and a well-hit ball there. And that will be his first hit of the season. And a little side hop around Evan Weekland. That will send Brody Kutchman down to third, and Nick Flesher almost on cue there with a single to center field. And just like that, the Mustangs now runners on the corners on first and third with 2 outs here in the inning. And Braylon Shoke, the freshman catcher, will be the 6th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the third inning.
Brody Baker.
And they'll get a courtesy runner here as Baker will run for the pitcher Flesher. So Baker to run over at first. Kutchman's down at third. Mustangs back to within 1, looking for more. With the freshman catcher Shoke now at the plate. Shoke 0 for 1 today. Flew out to right fielder Luke Wilson first time up. As the pitcher, Matt Malinsky, asks for a fresh ball and gets one. So Malinsky now, the first pitch here to Shoke. He'll step off. They don't allow that in the major leagues anymore. Still allow it in the high school game. Now the first pitch here to Shoke, called strike. Counted 0-1. A good opportunity here for the Mustangs and the freshman Shoke. Mustangs down a run but threatening, and Shoke a well-hit ball and a diving knockdown from the shortstop, but no play on it. There for Michael Dunn. Now a late throw over at second, and they will get Baker out over at second base, but the run will score and count. As coming across there for Laurel Highlands was Kutchman. So the Mustangs get 2 back in the bottom half of the third inning to tie this game at 2 with Albert Gallatin. We'll move to the top of the fourth in just a moment here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands tied at 2, moving to the top half of the fourth. Our game also on the South Union Township Sports Network. Brought to you there by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI Specialist, now U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank and South Union Township Supervisors Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Bob Schiffbauer. For 20 years, Beagley Tree of Somerset has been providing premier land management services across the region, offering a wide array of services including vegetation control, right-of-way restoration, land clearing, building demolition, erosion and sediment control, access road installation, and more. Beagley Tree can do it all. Phone 814-444-TREE or visit BeagleyTree.com. Beagley Tree Construction Support Services, done right.
WMBS YouTube page, as well as the South Union Township Sports Network YouTube page. Due up for the Colonials.
So Albert Gallatin will have hitters 6, 7, and 8.
Michael Dunham.
due up here in the top half of the fourth. It'll be Evan Weekland, Michael Dunham, and Clay Smith due up. Weekland, who will lead off the inning, struck out swinging first time up back in the second inning. He'll swing at the first pitch here and chop it foul on the left side. Carl, certainly a good answer back for the Mustangs, getting 2 runs there in the bottom half of the third.
Yeah, absolutely. As nice as the weather is today and as bad as these teams have played, I really think that we're going to see what they're really capable of today.
And a must-win situation for both schools. That pitch high and in tight to Evan Weekland. As Nick Flesher starts his 4th inning of work on the mound for the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Next pitch misses low, takes the count out at 2-1. Flesher to Weekland. Weekland entered the game with a 174 average and 3 RBIs. Next pitch here to Evan. Line drive getting through into center field. Connor D'Amico with a relay coming in, but a leadoff single to center field for Evan Weekland. And Albert Gallatin with a base runner here to start the top half of the 4th inning, and that'll bring Michael Dunham to the plate. Dunham grounded out 1-3 to end the 2nd inning. The Colonial shortstop came into the game with a 333 average and an RBI. See how aggressive they get here with Weekland on the base paths. Flesher's first pitch here to Dunham. Misses for ball 1. Also on the Albert Gallatin side, you wonder how long of a leash do they have on Matt Malinsky, who's mainly been used in relief roles so far this season. Those pitched well against Laurel Highlands so far this afternoon. Swing and a miss there from Dunham. To even up the count at 1-1 against Nick Flesher. And Evan Weekland over at first. Flesher's 1-1 pitch here to Dunham. Called strike. Headed down to second and safe there on the steal as Weekland in a scoring position. Count now 1-2 to Michael Dunham. Today's certainly one of the nicest days weather-wise we've had so far this year. Sun back out. And the fact it's been a little bit breezy, really can't complain about the weather.
No, you couldn't ask for a nicer day for baseball, especially this time of year.
Count 1-2 to Dunham. Pitch on the way outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Would Weekland dare steal third in this situation? Get nobody out here in the inning. 2-2 pitch to Dunham. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So for Nick Flesher, that's now his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. He's now struck out 17 batters so far this season. And Clay Smith now coming to the plate. Smith grounded out 1-3 to start the 3rd inning. That was an inning that ended up seeing the Colonials send 7 men to the plate and score 2 runs. Both Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin scoring 2 runs in their respective halves of the 3rd inning. First pitch here to Clay Smith. Called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 now, Flesher to Smith. Now with 1 out here in the inning, you try to get Weekland down to 3rd. Pitch on the way, a fastball sent high in the air to Connor D'Amico in center field. He'll make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning, and holding up at 2nd is Evan Weekland. So now 2 away with Jake Bellish coming to the plate. Bellis reached via an error and scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Came into the game with a 273 average. Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter, though, for Bellish. That's Gino Valenti.
Now batting for the Colonials, number 21, Gino Valenti.
So Valenti to bat for Bellish. And remember, if they would leave Bellish in the game, that means Valenti would be unable to return to the game. Valenti coming into this at-bat, batting .222 on the season. Does have one RBI, also one double so far this season. Lefty Valenti against the righty Flesher. Flesher's first pitch to Valenti misses high and outside for ball one. So an interesting move here on the Albert Gallatin side with a pinch hitter coming in here in the fourth inning in a 2-2 game. But a runner in Evan Weekland in scoring position at second base with 2 outs here in the inning. And that pitch misses low to Valenti to take the count to 2-0. You can also throw a lefty up there in Valenti against the righty Flesher, maybe just to mix things up a little bit. Now the 2-0. Flesher to Valenti, and Valenti fouling this one off on the left side. Well, off a truck over there. There's a dog that might want to retrieve that ball, too. Nice when you bring your furry friends to the games. 2-1 pitch on the way to Valenti. Missed low. Hopped away there from the Mustang freshman catcher, Shoke, allowing Weekland to get down to third. Count now 3-1 with first base open to Valenti in the top of the order, and Ben Lilly due up behind Gino. They're just going to issue ball 4. So an intentional walk issued to Valenti. That's dangerous with the top of the order due up next, and Lilly does give you the force out at second. And Lilly trying to continue his hot hitting. And came into the game with a .368 average, 2 for 2 today. And Lilly set to go. Flesher certainly slowed down at this juncture of the game. First pitch here to Lilly. Will take the pitch for ball 1. So Albert Gallatin issued the first punch in this game with 2 runs in the top of the third. Mustangs countered in the bottom half of the inning. And another one high and in tight there to Lilly to take the count to 2-0. And Albert Gallatin now trying to deliver the next blow here in the top half of the fourth inning. Now time called. And Coach Mike Smith will come out here to talk to Nick Flesher. Give us an opportunity to tell you, do you have a job around the house that you aren't fully sure how to tackle? Then it's time to call Fulham's Full Service, your best in Fayette gold medal winner for professional maintenance and handyman services. Fully licensed and insured owner Cody Fulham does it all. From home renovations and repairs to landscaping and auto detailing. He is ready to help you. Call Fulham's today at 724-466-4194 or follow them on Facebook to learn more how about their projects and the work they can do for you. So Flesher will remain in the game for Laurel Highlands. Count 2-0 to Ben Lilly. Runners on the corners for Albert Gallatin. Game tied at 2. Top of the fourth inning. Flesher needs a strike here. 2-0 to Lilly. Fastball misses low and in the dirt. Another good block there from Shoke. Count now 3-0. You've Matt Malinsky due up next. Malinsky sacrificed it into a fielder's choice and scored a run so far in this game. .30 pitch. Catches the strike zone. I think Lilly was taken all the way. And now the 3-1. Fastball misses low for ball 4. That'll load up the bases for Albert Gallatin. You have Weakland down at third. It seems like Weakland's been on the base paths forever. He led off the inning with a single. Valenti, who batted for Bellish and walked at second. And now Ben Lilly at first. And Matt Malinsky at the plate. First pitch to Malinsky. First pitch swinging chopper on the left side line. Has a tough throw over to first. Was wide of Hoff. Could have got a force out at any bag. That throw went wide. And he'll score an Albert Gallatin run as Evan Weakland comes around, and the Colonials now take a 3-2 lead. You'll get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher, Malinsky. And now Luke Wilson at the plate. Wilson, the 7th Colonial to bat here in the top of the 4th. Second straight inning that Albert Gallatin has sent 7 men to the plate. As they go back ahead now, 3-2. First pitch to Wilson. Misses for ball 1, and Albert Gallatin certainly making Flesher throw a lot of pitches here for the Mustangs. Now the 1-0 here to Wilson, and Wilson, the grounder to short. Lions there. This time the throw spot on to Parker Hoff over at first to retire Wilson 6-3 to end the inning, but Albert Gallatin getting another run. Colonials now lead the Mustangs 3-2 as we move to the bottom half of the 4th. We're halfway home here on the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Day. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. It stays put until you change your car, driver, or your address. Your local Erie agent in Uniontown or Rostraver Township is the Sprouse Insurance Group. Give them a call at 724-437-9812 or go to Sprouseinsurance.com. Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people, not insurance companies. Their lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799.
Aiden Wilson.
So moving now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Laurel Highlands now trailing 3-2. Mustangs will have hitters 7, 8, and 9 due up. Aiden Milsom, Connor D'Amico, and Andrew Gallick. Milsom doubled last time up. Takes strike 1 here. Sophomore came into the game with a 118 average. That'll improve after that second inning double. And a couple of RBIs. Malinsky starting his 4th inning of work on the mound for Albert Gallatin. Misses there on the 0-1. Again, Matt Malinsky, this already his 6th appearance of the season, but came into the game just working 9 2/3 inning, mainly in relief. Finds the strike zone here to take the count to 1-2. Now Malinsky looking for an early out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-2 pitch to Aiden Milsom, misses high and inside. Evens up the count now at 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way, fouled off there by Aiden as he'll stay alive. Count remains 2-2. Another 2-2 on the way. Another foul ball from Aiden Milsom. Nobody out. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Albert Gallatin started the scoring with 2 runs at the top of the third. Mustangs countered with 2 in the bottom of the third, and Albert Gallatin tacking one on in the top half of the fourth inning as Aiden Milsom calls time. Count 2-2, Matt Malinsky to Aiden Milsom. 2-2 pitch on the way. Aiden fouls off another one. Count remains 2-2. So Malinsky set to go again. Another 2-2 pitch, and the Milsom another foul ball. In entering play today, Bell Vernon, the section leaders, 8-0 overall, 6-0 in conference play. West Mifflin 9-3 overall, also undefeated in the conference at 4-0. Elizabeth Forward 6-2 overall, 3-1 in conference play, as that pitch takes us full now to 3-2. And Ringgold holding down the last playoff spot in the conference, 4-6 overall, 3-3 in the conference. So they're coming off of that series sweep over Albert Gallatin. Colonials 2-5 overall, 2-4 in the conference. And a pitch misses there from Malinsky to Milsom for ball 4. So the Mustangs with a base runner here to start the bottom half of the fourth inning. Good at-bat from Aiden Milsom. Now Connor D'Amico coming to the plate. D'Amico full out to center fielder Evan Weekland. First time up back in the second inning. Came into the game with a .250 average and 2 RBIs. Senior center fielder for Laurel Highlands. Throw over to first. And back safely there is Milsom. Other conference series going on today. Bell Vernon at Elizabeth Forward. West Mifflin at Ringgold. As that one laid down, a little juggle over at first. But hanging on there, the Colonials first baseman Ben Lilly. For the sacrifice from D'Amico. Advancing Milsom down to second. As Milsom, representing the game-tying run, gets in a scoring position. Now Andrew Gallick at the plate, and Gallick takes the first pitch high and inside for ball 1. Gallick looking for his first hit of the season, sophomore second baseman. Enters this at-bat 0 of 11 so far this year, has scored a run. Fouls off that pitch to even up the count at 1-1. That Bell Vernon Elizabeth Forward series will certainly be interesting this week. Might be the first game for Bell Vernon they've really been tested in so far this season, as Gallick takes another pitch there high and inside, takes the count out at 2-1. Mustangs now with Aiden Milsom down at second after he walked and was sacrificed into scoring position. 2-1 pitch now to Andrew Gallick. And Gallick fouling that one off to even up the count now at 2-2. Now the discussion here is getting a new baseball. Is Matt Malinsky. A foul tip there as well might have caught the catcher, Jason Myers. So Malinsky back on the mound. Count is 2-2 here against Andrew Gallick. Malinsky's 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Down goes Gallick. It's the second out of the inning. And for Malinsky, that's his first strikeout of the afternoon. Mustangs now bring up the top of the order, and Parker Hoff. Hoff has reached base safely in both plate appearances. Singled back in the first inning, walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the third. This is third plate appearance of the game as that pitch misses low, hops away there from the catcher Myers. allows Milsom to get down to third base. And Milsom representing the game-tying run. One-0 pitch. Misses there to Hoff. Takes the count now to 2-0. Malinsky's 2-0 now to Parker, high and in tights. Count out 3-0. In first base open. You have Nick Crouch up behind Hoff in the batting lineup, and that pitch high and outside for ball 4. So once again, Parker Hoff on base safely for Laurel Highlands. And now you have Nick Crouch coming to the plate. Meeting on the mound now for Albert Gallatin. That might be it for Malinsky. Bringing the whole infield in here. See if the Colonials make a move here to the bullpen. You mentioned Malinsky hasn't gone very deep into games or has seen most of his work occur in relief situations so far this season for Albert Gallatin. They're going to stick with him for now. And he'll face Nick Crouch with Albert Gallatin leading 3-2. Bottom of the fourth inning. Also would be interesting to see if Parker Hoff runs, if they'll throw down to second and try to get him. You've Crouch showing bunt, lays it down the first base line. It'll go foul. And remember, you have 2 outs here in the inning. So surprised to see Crouch laying the bunt down in that situation with 2 on and 2 outs. And see if you have 1 out in the inning doing that. I'm shocked to see that, though, with 2 outs here in the inning, unless maybe he missed a sign out there. 0-1. He went a chase, and they're trying to golf that one out of the dirt. Hoff does get down to second uncontested. But now Crouch with 2 strikes on.
I don't think you'll be seeing the bunt sign again.
I just wonder if he maybe saw the wrong sign. 0-2. It was close. Just missed. Takes us to 1-2. Colonial fans thought that was strike 3. The count now 1-2. Nick Crouch digging in here against Malinsky. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Crouch comes up empty. Second strikeout for Malinsky, both in this half inning and for the game. And we'll go to the top of the 5th. Albert Gallatin trying to hang on to a 3-2 lead over Laurel Highlands here in the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community. They treat sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. You can give them a call at 724-437-7500. In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there is something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Their commitment to excellence in sales and service remains stronger than ever. Visit the Mike Kelly Automotive Group today because, remember, when you buy from them, you buy from family. So now moving here to the Top half of the fifth inning, it's hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up for Albert Gallatin, Jason Myers, Canyon Sutton, and Evan Weekland.
Jason Myers, Canyon Sutton, and Evan Weekland.
Albert Gallatin trying to hang on to a 3-2 lead. There's a swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1-1 as the first pitch there to Myers missed for ball one. Myers 1 for 2 today. Grounded out 6-3 in the first inning. Picked up an RBI single in the third inning. Nick Flesher starting his fifth inning of work on the mound for Laurel Highlands. 1-1 pitch here to Jason Myers. Hit him in the back. That has to hurt. Good to see Myers hopping to his feet. He'll be the lead runner for Albert Gallatin here in the fifth inning, and they'll get a courtesy runner out as Myers is the catcher. And the courtesy runner will be number 3, Caden Perez. So Perez running for Myers, and now Canyon Sutton, who struck out twice in this game, coming to the plate, and I think that's going to be it for Nick Flesher. So Flesher gives up the baseball, and he's done. And you'll have a new Mustang pitcher in Jack Johns. We saw Johns on in relief against Bell Vernon,
On the pitch for the Mustangs.
making another appearance here
Jack John.
against Albert Gallatin. Tell you about some of our sponsors here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day, including Farmana Pharmacy. At Farmana Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. You're a part of a pharmacy that is focused on your health. That's why Farmana Pharmacy focuses on just prescriptions. Pharmacists Jim Capuzzi and Cheryl Goodwin take the time to listen, answer your questions, and guide you to better health. To sign up as a patient, visit farmanapharmacy.com or phone 724-626-9600. Farmana Pharmacy, where prescription care comes first. So again, a pitching change for Laurel Highlands as we work here in the top half of the fifth. Mustangs trailing the Colonials of Albert Gallatin by a score of 3-2. Spring forward a home construction season with First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans put you in charge of your dream home project with all of the tools you need. First Federal offers construction loans, owner-builder loans, and home improvement loans. Visit with a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. And you can experience the C. Harper Auto Group difference, the best price every time, all the time. C. Harper will beat any competitor's price, will pay you $1,000 cash. C. Harper offers free Carfax history reports, transparent repair orders on pre-owned vehicles, in the winter, the best new auto dealership in Westmoreland County. The C. Harper Auto Group, the best price every time, all the time. So the new pitcher, Jack Johns for Laurel Highlands. For Johns' fifth appearance, enters with a very impressive 1.62 ERA as the Mustangs check Perez over at first. Johns so far this season has worked 8 2/3 innings, giving up 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, struck out 10 and walked 4 so far this season. Now a little rundown here for Perez, and they'll get him over at second base. Hoff with a fire down there to Noah Line, who made the tag out of the courtesy runner Perez, and a good move over to first by Johns to sense that Perez might run and get a much-needed first out here for Laurel Highlands in the top half of the fifth inning. And Canyon Sutton at the plate. And now Johns' delivery here to Sutton misses well high. Takes the count to 1-0. Again, Sutton, a couple of strikeouts in this game. Came into the game with a 176 average and a couple of RBIs. Sutton, a little half-swinging bunt laid down the first baseline. Tough play for Johns. Throw over to first, not in time. I'm going to say Hoff was off the bag. We'll give Sutton a bunt single there. It was close. Bang, bang, or over at first. AG, another base runner, now up 3-2 with one out here on the top of the fifth inning. And Evan Weekland coming to the plate. Weekland 1 for 2. Struck out back in the second inning, singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the fourth. So another base runner for the Colonials. The lefty Johns, first pitch in there for a strike to Weekland. It's been a nip-and-tuck game. Scoreless after 2. Albert Gallatin got 2 runs in the top half of the third inning. Mustangs countered with 2 in the bottom half of the inning, and Albert Gallatin went up 3-2. Another check over at first, and back safely again is Sutton. And Albert Gallatin getting the go-ahead run in the top half of the fourth inning. Mustangs came up empty in the bottom of the fourth. Another pitch missing inside there to Weekland. Count now even at 1-1. Michael Dunham in the on-deck circle for the Colonials. John's next pitch. That ball chopped to third. Could be a double play. They get one at second. Throw over to first, not in time. There goes the fielder's choice. 5-4. Good defensive play made there by Brody Kutchman. And the Mustangs record the second out of the inning and, more importantly, get the lead runner. And now Michael Dunham comes to the plate. Dunham 0 for 2 so far. Came into the game with a .333 average and an RBI. Now the runner going is the freshman catcher. Shoke lost track of it and allows Weekland to get down to second in a scoring position again for Albert Gallatin. That pitch missed low, so the count's 1-0 here to Dunham. Johns glanced back at second. 1-0 pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss there from Dunham as he won to chase him. Albert Gallatin looking for some insurance here in the top half of the fifth. Next pitch from Johns. Check swing foul here on the near side. 2 strikes now on Michael Dunham. And 2 outs here in the inning. Runner Evan Weekland over at second. 2-strike pitch hit on the ground to line at short. Throw over to first in time to Parker Hoff to retire Dunham 6-3 to end the inning. So the Colonials strand a base runner, move to the bottom of the fifth. Still Albert Gallatin 3, Laurel Highlands 2 here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Day. Whether you're buying or selling a home, Jeff Dennis of RE/MAX Select Realty is your local realtor of choice. Jeff and his team are proud members of our community. Have the skills, knowledge, and ability to meet your needs. Call them today at 724-933-6300, extension 903, or visit them in person at 542 Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Our game today also on the South Union Township Sports Network, brought to you there by Smith Lewis Chess CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. The Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now U.S. Digestive Health. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute and physical therapist Jim Burns. United Bank and South Union Township supervisors Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Bob Schiffbauer. So we're now in the bottom of the fifth. A 3-2 lead for Albert Gallatin over Laurel Highlands. The Mustangs will have hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up here in the bottom half of the fifth. Noah Lyon, Brody Kutchman. And now Jack Johns' spot that was previously occupied by the pitcher Nick Flesher as the first pitch sent foul there by Lyon on the left side. Lyon walked back in the first inning, picked up a sac fly RBI, his first ribby of the season. Back in the third. This is his third plate appearance of the game. Comes the Mustangs down a run at 3-2, and Lyon, a well-hit ball here deep to left, but the catch made by Bellish for the first out of the inning. Sky's now getting a little bit darker with the wind picking up. Thought the rain would hold off till after this one was done, but you never know. Check the radar here and see if we have any rain moving in. Plate now, Kutchman swings the first pitch, pops it up on the left side. Charging from left field there was Bellish, but the catch actually made by Dunham, the shortstop, for the second out of the inning. So quickly, just like that, 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And we do have some rain moving in, guys. Pretty much now the leading end of the rain just entering Pennsylvania. My hourly radar telling me that we might see rain as soon as 6:30. You probably got an hour to get this one in. It's going to be pretty heavy when it comes. So you have Nick Flesher at the plate. Flesher basically will be the DH here for Jack Johns. He hit into a double play back in the first. Singled back in the third. Sends this one high in the air here to right. Slipping initially, but making the catch there for Albert Gallatin is Luke Wilson. So 1-2-3. Bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll move to the top of the 6th. Still Albert Gallatin 3, Laurel Highlands 2 here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Day. Moving down to the top of the 6th inning, 3-2. Albert Gallatin leading Laurel Highlands. For 20 years, Beagley Tree of Somerset has been providing premier land management services across the region, offering a wide array of services, including vegetation control, right-of-way restoration, land clearing, building demolition, erosion and sediment control, access road installation, and more. Beagley Tree can do it all. For more information, visit beagleytree.com. That's beagleytree.com. Or call them today at 814-444-TREE. Beagley Tree, construction support services done right. And you have a job around the house that you aren't fully sure how to tackle, then it's time to call Fulham's Full Service, your best in Fayette Gold Medal winner for professional maintenance and handyman services. Fully insured and licensed, owner Cody Fulham does it all for home renovations and repairs. So landscaping and auto detailing is ready to help you. Call Fulham's today at 724-466-4194. Follow them on Facebook to learn more about their projects and the work they can do for you. Fulham's Full Service. So now Albert Gallatin looking for a little more insurance. Up 3-2, top of the 6th inning. They'll have hitters 8, 9, and 1 due up. Clay Smith, Jake Bellish, and Ben Lilly. So Smith, who's 0 for 2 to lead things off. Jack Johns on in relief of Nick Flesher. First pitch to Smith fouled off. And they count at 0-1. Carl, you think with some of those clouds moving in, it makes the guys on both sides maybe play a little bit quicker?
I'm not sure. I think probably not. I think they'll probably continue the same pace. If we're lucky, hopefully it'll stay a little north of us.
That went in the dirt from Johns. Makes the count to 1-1. Hopefully it's dry walking out of here for us, too. Now 1-1, Johns to Smith. Pitch on the way, and Clay swing and a miss. Johns pitched well in relief in that doubleheader against Bell Vernon last Wednesday. And Smith looking for his first hit of the afternoon. 1-2 pitch here, now time called. As Smith steps out. You'll likely have Valenti batting next. Remember, he came in for Jacob Bellish. I believe he remained in the game and left. The count 2-2. You have Valenti still in the on-deck circle. And a 2-2 again, low and in the dirt. Takes us full now to 3-2. Johns to Smith. I'd always rather, Carl, in this situation, to throw strikes.
Yeah, I think at this point with no runners on that you probably should.
Especially facing hitter number 9 in the batting order. That's going to be ball 4, and Smith aboard. Yeah, I think in those type of situations when you have a guy down deeper in the order, nobody on base, 1-run game, throw strikes in that situation because now you got Smith on board and maybe an opportunity for Albert Gallatin to get him around. And as expected, Valenti batting for Bellish. He walked last time up the lefty behind 0-1 here. Actually went on the books as an intentional walk during his last at-bat or plate appearance. John's clear look over at first from that lefty stretch position. Missed low in the dirt that time to Valenti to even up the count at 1-1. We're down in the top of the 6th inning now. 3-2, Albert Gallatin over Laurel Highlands. 1-1 pitch. This ball popped foul by Valenti.
One thing I want to point out is John, the pitcher, he has a very nice pickoff move, and it makes it very difficult for a base runner when you have a lefty with a nice pickoff move.
Especially when he can see first base in the clear as well. Trying to finish off Valenti. 2-strike pitch. Valenti grounder here to second. Could be 2, but a juggle there by the Mustang second baseman Gallick. Had only 1 play after the juggle. That was over to Parker Hoff at first. Goes in the books as a fielder's choice 4-3. 1 away here in the inning with the lead runner Smith advancing into scoring position now at second base. And the top of the order due up in Ben Lilly, who's reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances so far. Singles in the 1st and 3rd inning, walk back in the 4th. Came into the game with a .368 average and 3 runs driven in. First pitch to him here is high for ball 1. Have to thank our graphic sponsors as well today, including South Union Township Supervisor Jason Scott, Matt George for Laurel Highlands School Board, and Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock. 1-0 pitch, high and in tight to Ben Lilly. Takes the count out at 2-0. And 1 out here in the inning. Top of the 6th. Another pitch missing there to Lilly from Johns. Matt Malinsky due up behind Lilly. Next pitch from Johns to Lilly outside, and that's ball 4. So Lilly now has reached base safely in all 4 plate appearances for Albert Gallatin. He's at first. Clay Smith's at second. 1 out here in the inning. And Matt Malinsky at the plate. The Colonials leading the Mustangs by a score of 3-2. The first pitch from Johns to Malinsky, and therefore a strike 0-1. I would think, Carl, if we would get rain here today, these 2 teams scheduled to play at Albert Gallatin tomorrow, you would just resume this game at that point. There's a chopper over to Lyon. It's short. Had a little juggle. Got it over to Gallic to get the lead runner. They turn the double play. Goes 6-4-3. Another tight one there. Carl over at first.
It was a nice play by the Mustangs. Heads up by the second baseman to turn 2.
I think the Colonials like the call over at first, but they're not going to change it. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Laurel Highlands still down 3-2 here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Day. Bad hair day, bad day at the office, bad day behind the wheel. Hey, stuff happens even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. It stays put until you change your car, driver, or your address, plus seriously good service. You can call your local agent The Sprouse Insurance Group in Uniontown or Ross Draver Township, 724-437-9812, or go to SprouseInsurance.com. Since 1976, Davis & Davis has represented people, not insurance companies. Their lawyers have experience in litigating or settling personal injury claims, medical malpractice cases, and wrongful death actions, together with domestic, real estate, workers' compensation, and municipal law experience. For more information on how Davis & Davis can help you, phone 724-437-2799. Our game today also on the South Union Township Sports Network, brought to you there by Smith Lewis Chess, CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank at South Union Township, supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott. So now the bottom half of the sixth inning, still 3-2, Albert Gallatin over Laurel Highlands. It's Shoke, Milsom, and D'Amico. Hitters 6, 7, and 8, and Shoke behind 0-1. Matt Molinsky, who got the start, still on the mound for Albert Gallatin, finds the strike zone again. Now 0-2 to Shoke. I think Molinsky only threw 4 pitches in the bottom half of the fifth inning, retiring Lyon, Kutchman, and Flesher all on fly ball outs. 0-2 pitch here, low and in the dirt. 1-2 now to the freshman catcher, Shoke. Shoke flew out to right field back in the second inning and grounded out to end the third. So this is Shoke's third plate appearance of the game. Count 1-2 on the freshman. Pitch on the way, low again. Evens up the count now at 2-2. Our next broadcast of high school baseball comes your way Thursday, Senior Day for Laurel Highlands against Mount Pleasant. Senior Day festivities around 3:45. Game starting at 4 o'clock. And a leadoff single here to the bottom half of the sixth inning. Now the freshman trying to get down to second, and he slides into second safely. Great hustle there from the freshman Shoke. Getting down to second base, and Albert Gallatin, a little lollygag out there in the field. And the Mustangs with good hustle, getting Shoke down to second. He represents the game-tying run now with Aiden Milsom coming to the plate, and the throw goes into center field. Shoke now gets down to third. Again, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the sixth, nobody was back there at second on that throwback, Carl.
Wow. You got to think that they might be in the pitcher's head after that those events transpired.
Mustangs might be in the driver's seat, even though they're down 3-2 in this game. That one a little hop away, but a regain there from Myers, the catcher. That was ball one there to Aiden Milsom. Milsom's reached base safely in both plate appearances so far in this game. Chops one here on the left side. Throw over to first, not in time. Safe over at first. On the relay from Dunham to Lilly, infield single for Milsom, gets an RBI, and we're tied at 3 as Shoke scores. This game all knotted up and nobody out here in the inning. And now Laurel Highlands with a game-tying run at first and nobody out, or excuse me, the go-ahead run at first and nobody out, with Connor D'Amico at the plate. And I think we're going to get an Albert Gallatin pitching change. We will. Valenti is going to be the new Albert Gallatin pitcher. So Valenti on for Molinsky. We'll probably get a new left fielder, too, in this old switch. Get you some numbers here on Valenti. For Valenti, this will be his 6th appearance of the season. Has not factored in any decisions. Has a 3.50 ERA. Has worked 10 innings. Given up 15 hits, 12 runs, 5 of those 12 earned. Walked 1, struck out 1. And has an ERA of 3.50. Now come into the game with this one knotted up at 3. And you have Molinsky, who's still responsible for the runner Milsom over at first. We'll check and see who's going to move out to left field as well for Albert Gallatin. You're going to have Molinsky now moving to second, where Clay Smith was at. Haven't moved anybody. Actually, they do have a left fielder.
I think their second baseman, Clay Smith's going to left.
So Clay Smith in left. So that completes it. So Smith in left, Molinsky at second, and now Valenti, who was in left, pitching. And the Mustangs will have Connor D'Amico at the plate. D'Amico flew out to center field back in the second, sacrificed in the fourth. First pitch here, D'Amico showing bunt, and now they have Milsom in a rundown. Throw back to second, Milsom running towards first. Nobody's covering the bag, and Milsom gets back to first base. Wow. So time called. And the first base coach, paraphrasing here, asking Milsom, what the heck is he doing, Carl? That was not the exact quote.
I think he got caught sleeping on the first there.
Don't want to do that in a 3-3 game.
Lots of teachable moments.
Yes, I'd say so. And Milsom very lucky to be back at first. D'Amico now showing bunt. That one hops away from the catcher Myers, and Milsom with life now, safe at second. And it counts 1-1 here to D'Amico. Just like that, kind of feels like the back nine at the Masters. A big momentum swing here back in Laurel Highlands direction as D'Amico takes one high to take the count to 2-1. You watched that action yesterday, Carl?
No, I didn't have a chance to catch any of the Masters.
Missed a good back nine. That one missing low to D'Amico. And now the count of 3-1. You have first base open. With a big run over at second, with Milsom representing the go-ahead run. 3-1 pitch here. Swing and a miss from D'Amico. Takes us full to 3-2. Certainly buckle up time at this juncture of the game. Mustangs and the Colonials tied at 3. Payoff pitch to D'Amico. And D'Amico, high fly ball into center field. The ball is caught there by Weakland, tagging on the play with speed as Milsom gets down to third base. So D'Amico advancing Milsom down to third. Did they say he left early?
Yeah.
They say he left early. Now Mike Smith out on the field. And they're going to rule Milsom out on the early tag-up. Wow. He did get down to third pretty quick. And that hurts if you're Laurel Highlands.
For the Mustangs, number 13, Paige Censure.
You would have had the go-ahead run down at third and one out here in the inning now. Cade Censure hitting here for Gallic. Fouls off the first pitch.
You know, I thought we would have a competitive game today, but I didn't think it would be under these circumstances.
This one hit into center field, so it would have given Laurel Highlands the lead if you wouldn't have had that early lead there from Milsom. So Censure gets aboard, single to center field. Those are the ones, though, you go back after the game, especially after a loss, and makes it tough to sleep for a couple of days. You'll probably have Gallic run here for Censure. So that'll be it for Censure in this game, but certainly did his job getting on board on the top of the order in Parker Hoff. I think you have to get aggressive here with Gallic in the base bats with 2 outs here in the inning. Of course, Hoff has been on base in every plate appearance so far in this game. Singled back in the first, walked and scored a run in the third, also a walk and a stolen base in the fourth. Now Mike Smith going out talking to our home plate umpire here. Just talking about the change made over here at first. So 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, game tied at 3. Hoff at the plate. Gallic, the base runner, over at first. Again, Valenti on the mound. First pitch here to Hoff, hit high in the air to right center field. And that ball is caught by the right fielder, Luke Wilson, to end the inning. So the Mustangs, they get the game tying run, but can't get the go-ahead run. We played 6 innings, tied up at 3. Laurel Highlands and Albert Gallatin here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. The UPMC Rehabilitation Institute on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. You can give them a call with a prescription from your doctor or scheduled by direct access, 724-437-7500. In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there is something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first, and they're not stopping anytime soon. Visit Mike Kelly Automotive today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference, because when you buy from us, you buy from family. So 3-3, Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands now going to the top of the 7th. Remember, in the high school game, we play 7. Hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up for Albert Gallatin. Meat of the order, Wilson, Myers, and Sutton. Be the 4th plate appearance for Wilson, who grounded out back in the 1st, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 4th. Now facing Jack Johns. Johns' first pitch here to Wilson, low in the dirt for ball 1. Wilson entered the game with a .273 average and 6 RBIs. Cloudy skies, temperatures dip now down to 67 degrees. That pitch just missed from Johns to Wilson. Take the count to 2-0. Still breezy, precipitation expected in about 35 minutes. 2-0 pitch on the way. Johns to Wilson, high again, now 3-0. Don't want to give up an early base runner here in a 3-3 game in the top of the 7th inning. Johns is 3-0 to Luke Wilson. And that one called a strike. Wilson actually stepped away. I don't think he was going to offer at all. Count moves to 3-1. A 3-1 pitch on the way, and that one a called strike on the inside corner. Good job from Johns to work his way back into the count. Now Johns with a 3-2 pitch to Luke Wilson. Fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. So credit Johns, who was behind 3-0 when the count worked his way back, got a strikeout of Wilson and one away here in the top of the 7th inning. By the way, for Laurel Highlands in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have hitters 2, 3, and 4 due up. Crouch, Lyon, and Kutchman. Hoping they just need a 1 run to win it. Jason Myers trying to say something about that. He'll take the first pitch here for strike 1. Myers grounded out back in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Count 0-1 here. Swing and a miss from Jason Myers, who's now behind 0-2. Both the Johns and Valenti are the pitchers of record at this juncture of the game. With this one knotted up. Now the 0-2 here to Myers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Jack Johns, and now 2 away for Albert Gallatin here in the top half of the 7th. And Kenyon Sutton coming to the plate. Sutton 1 for 3, struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. And an infield single in the 5th. Lefty versus lefty matchup. First pitch on the way, missing low to Sutton. And the count at 1-0. Deep breath from Johns. 1-0 pitch on the way. Well hit. Fair ball down the right field line. Making his way over to the line is Milsom on his way to second. with a stand-up double representing the go-ahead run is Canyon Sutton. So Canyon Sutton, a double to right field. Albert Gallatin with a go-ahead run in scoring position with Evan Weekland coming to the plate. Weekland struck out swinging back in the second inning. Singled and scored a run on the fourth, hit into a fielder's choice in the fifth. Johns here with the first pitch to Weekland, low and in the dirt. Good block there from Shoke. Count at 1-0. Wind blowing out right now to right field. Next pitch on the way. Chopper caught there by the pitcher Johns. Underhand scoop over to Parker Hoff to retire Weekland 1-3. And now the Mustangs an opportunity to win it as we go to the bottom of the seventh inning, tied at 3 here on the C.R. Barata Group High School Sports Day. Busy day, feeling unwell, don't feel like driving, but you need your prescriptions? No worries. Farmana Pharmacy delivers to your home or workplace for free. Stay comfy at home or focused at work. Farmana Pharmacy delivers Monday through Friday, so you don't have to worry about picking up your prescriptions. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call 724-626-9600 or visit farmanapharmacy.com. Farmana Pharmacy, prescription care and convenience delivered. Spring forward home construction season with First Federal of Greene County. First Federal's construction and improvement loans put you in charge of your dream home project. Apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729. So here we go. Laurel Highlands an opportunity to win it. Game tied at 3. Moving to the bottom of the seventh inning.
Senior recognition.
It'll be Nick Crouch to lead things off. Crouch a walk and a stolen base back in the first, flew out to center field in the third, struck out swinging in the fourth.
Nick Crouch, no line.
Again, you have Gino Valenti on in relief of Matt Malinsky for Albert Gallatin. Valenti's first pitch here, a called strike to Nick Crouch. The sophomore Crouch trying to break out of an early season slump. Came into the game with a 188 average and 2 RBIs. 0-1, Valenti to Crouch, high and inside. Evens up the count at 1-1. Mustangs looking for their first conference win of the season here this afternoon. 1-1 pitch, and Crouch a well-hit ball here in the gap in right center field, and after a little juggle, hanging on the center fielder Evan Weekland. That was not an easy catch. But Weekland getting the job done for the first out of the inning. Now Noah Lyon coming to the plate. Remember, years ago, these two schools played in a 16-inning showdown. That went down at German Masontown Park in the rain. I think that game ended. It was a late April game. About 8:15 when it was getting dark. Probably around 2012 or 2013. It went way back. Count now 2-0. Valenti to Lyon. 2-0 pitch. Called strike, 2-1. I can dig out the exact year of that one. This ball sent foul. And that was back in 2011. The Mustangs went 2-17 that year. Their only WPIAL win was that extra inning thriller down against Albert Gallatin. The other win that year came in Myrtle Beach against the Friends School of Maryland, and this ball hit high in the air to right. Getting under it and making the catch is Luke Wilson for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down. We might be looking at extras here today. Be Brody Kutchman coming to the plate. I'm hoping it doesn't go 16, though, Jason. The rain moving in. I don't think we're going to get 16 in today. First pitch missed with a ball there to Brody Kutchman. Kutchman hit into a fielder's choice back in the first, walked and scored a run in the third, and popped up in the fifth. Kutchman fouling that one off. He's going to go down and try to play some pickleball again later on tonight. They have new pickleball courts inside of the South Union Rec Center. Billy Dice and I played last Monday. A lot of fun. 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. From Valenti to Kutchman. Now the Colonials looking for a 1-2-3 inning defensively. And pitch missing inside there, Valenti to Kutchman. Kutchman entered the game with a .333 average and 3 RBIs. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Game tied at 3. Payoff pitch on the way. High and inside. Actually, the count wrong up there on the scoreboard. Now it's full of 3-2. Now the payoff pitch on the way, and Kutchman fouls it off. The count remains 3-2. A home run will win it for the Mustangs. They're hoping just to get a base runner to keep this one going. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and we'll play extras. So 1-2-3, bottom half of the 7th inning, tied at 3 after 7. Here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day. You experience the C. Harper Group difference, the best price every time, all the time. C. Harper will beat any competitor's price or pay you $1,000 cash. C. Harper offers free Carfax history reports, transparent repair orders on pre-owned vehicles, and the winner of the best new auto dealership in Westmoreland County. The C. Harper Group, the best price every time, all the time. Again, our game also on the South Union Township Sports Network, brought to you there by Smith Lewis Chess, CPAs in Uniontown, Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, the Sprouse Insurance Group, and insurance agent David Hughes, SWGI specialist, now U.S. Digestive Health, the UPMC Rehabilitation Institute, and physical therapist Jim Burns, United Bank and South Union Township supervisors Rick Vernon, Jason Scott, and Bob Schiffbauer. So for Albert Gallatin, they'll have hitters 7, 8, and 9 due up. Michael Dunham, Clay Smith, and Jake Bellish. But that's actually Valenti's spot, so likely be Valenti to bat there. As the third due up here in the inning. And you have some rain probably about a half hour or so away. Michael Dunham going to lead things off. Jack Johns on in relief. First pitch here to Dunham and a line drive. That's going to be a fair ball down the third base line. Dunham rounding first on his way to second, and Dunham head first, slide into second safely. So Michael Dunham, his first hit of the afternoon, coming at a key time here, double down the left field line, giving Albert Gallatin a base runner with nobody out here in the top half of the 8th. And now let's see if we see a sacrifice here from Clay Smith. Smith grounded out in the 3rd, flew out in the 4th, and walked in the 6th. Infield coming in here, showing bunt. That pitch missing inside actually almost clipped Smith. Count at 1-0. Nobody out. Top of the 8th. Extra innings between Albert Gallatin and Laurel Highlands. Go-ahead run for the Colonials, and Michael Dunham down at second base again, showing bunt, laying it down, but it going foul down the third base line from Clay Smith. Evens up the count at 1-1. 325 down the lines here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. 360 to straightaway center field. 1-1, Johns to Smith. Nobody out, top of the 8th. Smith again showing bunt, lays it down, goes to the left of Johns, who scoops it over to Gallick, who was covering the bag for the first out of the inning, but the sacrifice bunt successful from Smith, moving the go-ahead run Dunham down to third with Gino Valenti due up. Valenti, his third plate appearance of the game, was intentionally walked back in the 4th, hit into a fielder's choice in the 6th. Lefty versus lefty matchup coming with a go-ahead run down at third base. One out here in the inning. First pitch to Valenti, a little one-hopper. Blocked there by the catcher, Schoch. And the Mustangs don't have Sevi Vecchiola, the normal starting catcher, available in this game. Asked Mike Smith what the situation is there. He said he's not available and left it at that. 1-0 pitch on the way. Finds the strike zone on a nice breaking ball from Johns to even up the count at 1-1 here to Valenti. Now Johns with a 1-1, another one-hopper blocked again by Schoch. I think Schoch really has played well, though, in place of Vecchiola. Bright spot for the future for the Mustangs. Both at the plate and behind the dish. And Valenti popping this one up to shallow left. The catch will be made there by Crouch. Tagging with a play at the plate and safe at home for the go-ahead run is Michael Dunham. So a sac fly RBI for Gino Valenti. And Albert Gallatin now taking a 4-3 lead over Laurel Highlands here in the top of the 8th. Good relay coming in there from Crouch, but tough to get Dunham at home. So Albert Gallatin back in the lead. Base is now empty. 2 outs here in the inning. Top of the order, and Ben Lilly now up. And Lilly's reached base safely in every plate appearance so far today. Fouls off the first pitch here from Johns. Lilly singles in both the first and the third innings. Walked back in the 4th and 6th. (4-3), Albert Gallatin on top. And now Lilly trying to keep the inning alive here for Albert Gallatin against Johns. And now Lilly calls for time. Sky is still threatening. Johns' next pitch on the way. Lilly grounder to short, booted there by Lyon. Goes into left field, so E6 and Lilly aboard again. As the Colonials look for a little insurance. Now you got the pitcher's spot here with Malinsky coming to the plate. Basically the designated hitter for the now pitcher, Valenti. Actually, no, it would be Malinsky's playing second, excuse me. Now throw over to first, and back safely there is Lilly. And Malinsky moved to second in that whole switch when Valenti entered the game in relief. Johns' pitch here to Malinsky. Malinsky went at chasing, and that ball was in the dirt. Counted 0-1. Albert Gallatin 4, Laurel Highlands 3, top of the 8th. Mustangs get their crack at it in the bottom half of the inning. This ball chopped on the left side. Kutchman will get the lead runner to end the inning, sending it over to Andrew Gallick. So Albert Gallatin now leads Laurel Highlands by a score of 4-3. Mustangs will have their crack at things. We move to the bottom half of the 8th inning here on the C.R. Barana Group High School Sports Day. Moving now to the bottom of the 8th inning, Laurel Highlands will have Nick Flesher, who is the DH for Jack Johns. Braylon Shoke, who had a double last time up. And Aiden Milsom, who's reached base safely in all 3 of his plate appearances, coming to the plate. And I thank our graphic sponsors for the game today. Matt George for Laurel Highlands School Board, Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshak, and South Union Township Supervisor Jason Scott. For Albert Gallatin, you have Gino Valenti. Came on in relief of Matt Malinsky on the mound. And again, Nick Flesher at the plate. Flesher 1 for 3 today. Lone hit a single back in the 3rd inning. Mustangs will need a run to extend this game. 2 runs will give them their first conference win of the season as Nick Flesher takes the first pitch here for strike 1. You got to be aggressive at the plate in this situation, Carl.
Yeah, there's no holding back at this point in the game.
Next pitch to Flesher. Good cut. Foul tipped it. Count, though, now 0-2. Valenti's pitched with confidence as he's come on in relief of Matt Malinsky. Malinsky now playing second base for Albert Gallatin. 0-2 pitch on the way here. Foul tipped by Flesher as he stays alive. Time of the game so far, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Rain expected in about 20 minutes. 0-2 pitch again, swing and a miss, strike 3. So for Valenti, it's back-to-back strikeouts. He sent down Kutchman in the 7th. Now sends down Flesher here to start the 8th. Now you'll have the freshman Shoke at the plate. Again, Shoke doubled to left center field and scored a run last time up. And for another big hit here. First pitch to Shoke, swing and a miss, strike 1. Good pitch there from Valenti. Valenti looking confident, trying to close this one out for Albert Gallatin. So the Colonials try to stay in the playoff race. This will be their 3rd conference win of the year. Fastball there from Valenti. 2 strikes now on Shoke. Valenti now looking for his 3rd straight strikeout. He'll wind and fire the 0-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground to short. Scooped up and thrown over to first, but off the bag as the throw from Dunham pulled Lilly off the bag. And safe at first is Shoke, who represents the game-tying run. To another play that should have been routine. Has to go E6 there on the wide throw. And Shoke safe over at first now with Aiden Milsom coming to the plate. Throw over to first, head first slide back safely. And no courtesy runner in this situation. Shoke running for himself as the catcher. Another throw over to first. Once again, Shoke back safely. Getting 1 out here in the inning. Shoke represents the game-tying run over at first with a generous lead. That ball popped away there from the catcher Myers, but Shoke went back to the bag. Aiden Milsom at the plate. He's reached base safely in all 3 of his plate appearances. That one missed low. Counts 2-0 now to Milsom. Milsom doubled in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. An infield single in the 6th. Runner going here, and Milsom with a high line drive deep to the left, and that ball is caught by the left fielder Smith, sending Shoke back to the bag at first. And now 2 outs here in the inning. Well hit ball, though, from Milsom, and now the Mustangs down to their final outs in Connor D'Amico. Mustang senior. 3 seniors in Laurel Highlands lineup today, Hoff, Flesher, and D'Amico. They'll be on there Thursday. D'Amico trying to keep the Mustangs alive here today against Albert Gallatin. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1 against Gino Valenti. Big lead off first, and they'll check Shoke, who's back to the bag safely. Don't want to get picked off then in the game. One 1-0 pitch, Shoke going, and a well-hit ball from D'Amico to center, charging, getting, and allowing Albert Gallatin to secure the win is Evan Weekland out there in center field. So it took 8th this afternoon, but the Albert Gallatin Colonials pick up their 3rd conference win with a 4-3 win over the Laurel Highlands Mustangs. Laurel Highlands dropping now to 0-5 in conference play as Albert Gallatin improves to 3-4. And our next broadcast of Laurel Highlands baseball comes your way on Thursday, senior day for the Mustangs against Mount Pleasant. It'll be on the WMBS YouTube page. Senior day festivities at 3:45. First pitch at 4 o'clock. I have to thank Carl Childs behind the camera. This is Brian Morozek, and have yourselves a pleasant good evening. Again, your final score from Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. The Albert Gallatin Colonials 4 and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs 3. So long, everybody.